So otherwise with these kind of things, if you put it back and just put it away, then maybe you're gonna forget and then you're gonna wonder, wait. It's nice to have a proper working light. Well, because you cannot see the back half of it anyways, so now I'm gonna try putting it in the pan with some water and vinegar because I've heard that that can work to get rid of those stains. Well, hello. So I feel like this corner always stays a mess. I mean, there's always something to do. So anytime there's something like a package we need to return or something we need to check, it always just kind of gets dumped here. But now that I have a day off of work, I want to bring the Christmas tree, so I figured that I may as well try to clean some of this up as much as possible or as best as I can. There are just so many small little tasks. Like, we went to Vienna recently as well, or a few weeks ago, and I like to take pictures of all the new items that we brought, so just to keep track of souvenirs you bought and then write a little caption with it. But it's been so dark the past few weeks that it's just been so hard to be able to take those pictures in the first place, so those kind of small things always just delay those tasks. And these shoeboxes, they're also just, you know, those little random things that you don't know yet where to put away. So you just kind of got to figure out how to sort them and then where to put them. That's all, those sort of random to be done tasks. And then later on I need to switch out the light bulbs in the bathroom because that bathroom has become super dark. Okay, I've kind of just hidden the mess around here. I'm not fully done with them yet, but this is at least just looking so much neater again. Okay, and then once I move this tray, then I think there's enough space to put the Christmas tree here. Okay, so the space is clear here, and this is probably the best lighting I'm going to get for a while, so I think I'm going to take advantage and try to do some of those sort of inventory pics. So over the past few years, I've been trying to start as a new tradition where every time we visit a new country or city, I try to get us an ornament that reminds us of that city. So for example, we were in Vienna in November and the Christmas markets were already open. And so at one of the stalls at the Christmas market, we got these two. Because these are a sort of more special item to us now, I just like to take a picture of them, add a caption about that memory onto the picture's caption. And then I got this one from my boyfriend. A broccoli one, because he's been eating broccoli pretty much every day for the past few months, so had to get him this one. And so something like that I will also just add to the caption of this picture. So otherwise with these kind of things, if you put it back and just put it away, then maybe you're gonna forget and then you're gonna wonder, wait, when did I get that again? Where did I get that? So I recommend just taking the 1 to 2 minutes to just take the picture and write the little caption onto a piece of paper somewhere nearby it, or either on the picture's caption. So I think everything that can go upstairs, I'll put into one corner, all the plastic in another, etc., and then just kind of take it from there. The space is already looking so much better, but there is a bit of a mess hidden behind the couch here, which I do just want to try to deal with a little bit. Okay, so while I'm up here, I may as well just finish off some of these seasonal tasks. So for example, anytime the weather gets colder and we switch up the blanket, then I make sure to wash the old blanket we used. Now before you put away your duvet or blanket, you do just want to make sure that it's thoroughly dry, so make sure you dry it for a couple of days and maybe also flip it if that's necessary. And then I'm also going to leave this slightly open just to give a bit of ventilation because you don't want to fully close it and trap moisture in there. Okay, that's ready to go back into the basement. And now it's good to know that in a couple of months when it starts to get a bit warmer, then we can use this blanket and it's all being cleaned and ready to be used. Now does anyone else also have a system that they know exactly where to hang up certain items? and done. Now next up, I think I want to put up the bathroom lights so that I can also clean up the ladder. Okay, see, so it's been quite dark in here without the two lights working. So I'm hoping that I can fix that now. Okay, I finally got all of them in. That middle one was a bit of a struggle town to get in. So let's see. Okay, so much better. Okay, finally, now I'm going to clean up this ladder, but just having 3 working lights instead of just 1 in a dark bathroom, especially now it starts to get dark quite early, so it's nice to have a proper working light. Okay, now taking a bit of a break to get some of these random kitchen tasks done, and I think I'm going to start with this pan. Now, we've tried scrubbing and scrubbing to get rid of that sticky, burnt on, residue. So now I'm going to try putting in the pan with some water and vinegar because I've heard that that can work to get rid of those stains. And now, as much as we love pancakes, I don't think we're going to use all of these before their expiration date. So now I like to freeze some of them so that when it's a weekend and you want kind of something like a Sunday brunch, then you can take it out, or maybe we can, in the morning I take it out and we use it for dessert on a movie night, something like that. But you don't just want to put them into the freezer like this because then they will all stick together. So then I like to use these plastic dividers and I'll put 2 together and then I'll put 1 in between and then 2 again and then 1 in between so that if you want to take out 2, for example, then you can just peel this off and you'll have 2 pancakes. But if you want to take 4 or more, then you can of course just take out more. It helps to keep them separated. And then as for the peanut butter, this is the best tasting peanut butter, but when you just have it normal like that, the container, then a lot of oil is all over the top. So overnight I just turned it upside down and now I just need to give it a good mix. And then I can store it into 1 or 2 glass jars. But I think I'll start with the pancakes first since that is less of a messy job than the peanut butter. And then this is the same freezer fabric bag that I used last time to also store pancakes, so I'm just going to reuse it. These are from a company called Flax Stitch, and I really like them because, you know, sometimes with those plastic sturdy freezer bags, they often take quite a bit of space, but then something like this can just sit flat in the freezer like so, and it takes up so little space. And it's also so easy to clean because it has a bit of a plastic lining in the inside. And 2 more. Okay, finished with the pancakes. See? Nice and got them in here. So now I'm going to put those in the freezer upstairs and then work on the peanut butter. Okay, super random, but done. So I'm going to clean all this up, chuck in the pan, and then head to the supermarket. Alright, I unpacked everything, and so now I think I want to do a bit of food prep before moving on to the Christmas tree. So I want to do things like chopping up broccoli, the tomatoes for tonight's dinner, and I think tonight I'm going to make us a chicken shawarma, so I got some chicken thigh, and I don't know if I'm going to put it into pita bread or Lebanese bread, but we have both. So if I just get this out of the way now, then it'll just make it easier, especially for tonight / the rest of the week. Okay, slowly making some progress. I have everything from the broccoli, tomatoes, and garlic chopped up. The bell peppers as well. Yeah, and now I just have some garlic here for the chicken. Last thing I need to put now is the carrots, and then I can cut the chicken and put it with the marinade. Carrots done. Well, it's a few days later now, and as you can see, the Christmas tree is up, so Vicky helped bring this up and then he set it up. So now it's time for me to start putting the lights on and decorating here and there. So I'm going to get all the supplies. Okay, ta-da! So before you wrap it on your tree, you always just want to check that it works in the first place. Okay, that works. Okay, now I need to get an adapter. Okay, well everything is set up, so I guess now I can start with putting the lights on. And now I want to put on something to watch in the background, and I think I'm going to go for the behind the scenes of Mr. and Mrs. Smith because it's something easy to put on and we watched this a few nights ago, so I figured now's a good time to just do that. If you haven't seen Mr. and Mrs. Smith in a while, I forgot how good this movie was. And then also yesterday we watched Wedding Days while we started on this puzzle. This is the thing that you're supposed to do, book puzzle. So we almost finished the corner, except there's always one last piece that you cannot find. But at least for this one, it's probably going to be a bit easier because you can organize them by color and then find it that way. And then while I have it here, so I got the book A Christmas Carol, which I'm hoping I can read this December, and then get the movie A Christmas Carol with the one with Jim Carrey. And currently I'm reading The Housemaid. I'm about halfway through the book, or maybe just under half. And so far, I really like it. It's a really good suspenseful thriller type book. Do you remember the days of putting your CDs upside down, your CDs or DVDs upside down like this, and then leaving like that, and then your parents getting so mad at you for doing so? Or being mad at you that you put the wrong DVD in the wrong case and being like, you go to a highly educated school, how can you not just think to put the right DVD into the right case? Why is it such a difficult task? And then this iconic trailer. Okay, I feel like commentaries is an easy thing that you don't pay much attention to. Okay, now back to the lights. Okay, and now I'm thinking that, well, because you cannot see the back half of it anyways, or really this side, I will focus most of it on here, the front part, and just a tiny bit by the window view, because I don't have that many lights either to begin with. But I always kind of forget whether it's better to go from top to bottom or from bottom to top. Which way do you guys prefer to do it?
I feel like there's a place to the director.
Okay, cute. Okay, the second one on. Now, the last one I'll just focus, as much as I can on the bottom part, because the bottom is looking a bit empty. Unfortunately, there's always one that you drop. Okay, ta-da! Not fully finished, but I think I'm going to continue putting on the rest of them tomorrow night or something because it's already 5 and there's still a couple of other things I need to do tonight. But good start so far. So the tree has slowly been decorated a bit more over time, and there's just a few more that I want to hang up now. All these sort of more unique, pretty ornaments, whatever. So I just thought I may as well get that out of the way now. And then the tree decorating is done. voila, and done. Definitely not the prettiest, you know, decorating or the best placement, but this is also my grandma's old tree, so it is a bit more sentimental in that way. And then next random update is that we ended up finishing the puzzle now. I also got this puzzle mat, which made it a lot easier for us to transfer the puzzle when it was not finished off the table. But now the hard part is always, what do you do with a finished puzzle? Do you just completely break it apart and put it back to the box and hope to do it one day again? Or do you frame your puzzles? I'm not gonna frame it, but still. Or do you carefully break it into chunks and then put it back into the puzzle box? Another random side tip with when you're doing puzzles is definitely try to organize them by color, but also by, for example, in this puzzle, anytime I saw text from one certain color, then I would put it into one of these boxes, and so that kind of helped a lot for finishing the puzzle a bit faster. It's time to make some brownies. I got one as well that was supposed to be super easy. Pretty much all you needed for it was the mixture, some butter, and then some water. So this is 250 grams and I need 50 grams, then I can just cut this into 5 pieces and use one of those. I don't have a scale, so I'm hoping that that will be good enough. And then it needs to be in room temperature, so I think I'm gonna leave this out and then continue on with the recipe in, I don't know, 10 to 30 minutes. Alright, time to preheat the oven. Pretty sure it was for 180 degrees. Done. And then I also pre-cooked some chicken in the meantime now, because it took out of the freezer around 2 or 3 days. And then we're gonna eat something else tonight, so then it was gonna be another day of not eating this chicken, and I hate food waste. So just decided to go ahead and make it with something random, some soy sauce, chili, honey, etc. So that's done, and then I can put it into a container tonight, and then that can be added onto lunches or dinners in the next few days. Okay, but time to go back onto the brownie mixture now. And I'm also going to go ahead and make both batches now, because then whatever's not used I can just freeze, and then that's an easy way just to grab 1 or 2 pieces at a time for whenever you want a sweet snack with a coffee or something. Okay, I'm guessing this is the kind of consistency I'm looking for. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm hoping I'm correct. Okay, I already saw that I messed up. So I was supposed to mix the water and the brownie mixture by itself first, and then add that with the butter and put on the medium speed, and then mix it all together. But I just did it in one go. So this is why I don't bake that often, because something always goes wrong. Alright, well next up it's time to prep the container where it's going to go into. Brownies are in the oven, dishes are done, so I'm just gonna wait for that to be finished, and then we'll have that as a dessert for tonight. But then as perhaps another dessert, or at least sometime in December, I want to try to make some hot chocolate, because that was my intention to do the last year, but then I never got around to it, so hopefully we can do it this year. and I got some marshmallows put into there. It's supposed to be a festive December hot chocolate, which we rarely ever drink. So hopefully now is the time to do it again.